Yoshie Shiratori. Ever heard of him? Probably not. But in the annals of prison breaks, this guy's a goddamn legend. See, Shiratori wasn't your average crook. This dude was an escape artist extraordinaire, the Houdini of Hokkaido, a master of slipping through the cracks of Japan's supposedly impenetrable prison system. Not once, not twice, but 4 times this guy tasted freedom, each escape more daring, more ingenious than the last. They called him the man no prison could hold, and for good reason. This is his story. Picture this, 1930s Japan. The prisons? Think brutal, unforgiving concrete tombs, more about punishment than rehabilitation. Shiratori landed himself in one of these shitholes, Aomori prison, for robbery. Life inside was beyond harsh. Cramped cells, meager rations, and guards with zero tolerance for, well, anything. The kind of place designed to crush your spirit, to make you wish you were dead. But Shiratori? He wasn't like the other inmates. He saw an opportunity in every crack in the wall, every loose bar, every unguarded moment. Now, Shiratori's first escape was a study in resourcefulness and sheer willpower. Imagine being locked up in a cell with nothing but time and your wits to rely on. Shiratori, however, saw opportunity where others saw despair. His weapon of choice? A goddamn bowl of miso soup. Yes, you heard that right. While others might have given up, Shiratori saw potential in the most mundane of things. Every day, he'd pour a little on the hinges of his cell door, just a touch, enough to rust them over time. It was a slow, methodical process. He knew that patience was key. Weeks turned into months. Nobody noticed, or maybe they just didn't care. The guards went about their routines, oblivious to the silent rebellion happening right under their noses. One day the hinges gave way. Shiratori slipped out, a free man. It was a moment of triumph, a testament to his ingenuity and determination. For 15 whole days, he was a ghost, vanishing into the Hokkaido wilderness. The vast, untamed landscape became his sanctuary, a place where he could breathe freely, if only for a short while. They caught him, of course, but the legend of Yoshie Shiratori, the man who could escape from anything, was born. His story spread like wildfire, inspiring awe and admiration. People couldn't help but marvel at his audacity and cleverness. The prison guards were relentless in their search, scouring every inch of the wilderness. They knew they were dealing with someone extraordinary, someone who wouldn't be easily contained. When they finally captured him, it was with a mix of relief and respect. They had witnessed firsthand the lengths to which Shiratori would go to reclaim his freedom. Back in his cell, the rusted hinges stood as a silent testament to his ingenuity. They were a reminder that even in the bleakest of circumstances, the human spirit could find a way to break free. Shiratori's legacy lived on, a symbol of hope and resilience. His story was told and retold, a beacon of inspiration for those who found themselves in seemingly impossible situations. Today, prison security has evolved, with advanced technologies and stricter protocols. But the tale of Yoshie Shiratori remains a powerful reminder of the indomitable human spirit. People still discuss his story, marveling at his resourcefulness and determination. It's a story that transcends time, a testament to the power of ingenuity and the will to be free. And so, the name Yoshie Shiratori is etched in history, a legend of a man who refused to be confined, who saw a bowl of soup and a rusty hinge as tools of liberation. His story continues to inspire, a timeless tale of courage and creativity. Shiratori's next stop was Akita Prison, a place supposedly even more secure than Aomori. This prison was known for its impenetrable walls and relentless security measures. It was a fortress designed to break the spirit of any inmate who dared to dream of freedom. They weren't taking any chances with this guy. Shiratori had already proven himself to be a master escape artist, and the authorities were determined not to let him slip through their fingers again. He was watched like a hawk, every move scrutinized. The guards were always on high alert, their eyes never leaving him for a moment. Surveillance cameras tracked his every step, ensuring there was no room for error. But Shiratori, he was observant. He had a keen eye for detail and a mind that never stopped working. He studied the guards, noting their routines and habits. He watched how they moved, when they were most alert, and when they let their guard down. He noticed the guards slacking off during shift changes, the routines, the blind spots. He saw the moments when their vigilance wavered, the small windows of opportunity that presented themselves. It was during these times that he began to formulate his plan. One freezing winter night, while the guards huddled around a fire for warmth, Shiratori made his move. The cold was biting, but it also provided the perfect cover. The guards were more concerned with staying warm than watching him. He scaled the prison walls, his bare hands gripping the icy stone. The climb was treacherous, the cold numbing his fingers, but he pressed on. Each step was a battle against the elements and his own exhaustion. He walked for miles through the snow-covered mountains, the bitter cold his only companion. The wilderness was unforgiving, but Shiratori was determined. He knew that freedom lay beyond those mountains, and he was willing to endure any hardship to reach it. The journey was long and arduous, but with each step he felt the chains of captivity loosening, the taste of freedom growing ever closer. Section 5. Back in the belly of the beast. They caught him again, hauled him back to Akita, threw him in solitary. This time they figured he wouldn't escape. They were wrong. Shiratori, you see, was obsessed. He studied the guards, memorized their routines. He discovered a weakness in the design of his cell window, a small, overlooked flaw. Over time he chipped away at it bit by bit, using a shard of broken glass. It was grueling, painstaking work, but freedom, he knew, was worth any price. Section 6. Outsmarting the system, again. One night, under the cover of darkness, Shiratori squeezed through the tiny opening he'd created. He was out, free again. The authorities were furious. They'd underestimated him again. They transferred him to Sapporo Prison, the most secure facility in all of Japan. They threw everything they had at him: brighter lights, more guards, constant surveillance. They even shackled him in his cell. They were determined to break him. Section 7. The walls close in, but not for long. Sapporo Prison was a different beast. The guards were relentless, the security suffocating. For the first time, Shiratori felt a flicker of doubt, but he never gave up hope. He spent his days studying the guards' movements, searching for any weakness, any opportunity. He realized that the guards, despite their vigilance, had become complacent. They followed a strict routine, a routine that Shiratori would use to his advantage. Section 8. A daring dash to freedom. One day, during exercise time, Shiratori made his move. While the other inmates were distracted, he slipped away unnoticed. He scaled the prison walls, using a makeshift rope he'd fashioned from scraps of cloth. The guards were stunned. They had never imagined that anyone could escape from Sapporo, let alone someone like Shiratori, who had already escaped 3 times before. Section 9. Years on the lam and a life of crime. For 3 years, Shiratori lived as a fugitive. He became a folk hero, his exploits whispered in hushed tones. He turned to a life of crime, robbing and stealing to survive. But his luck wouldn't last forever. The police were relentless in their pursuit, and eventually they caught up with him. He was arrested for the last time in 1948. Section 10. Captured, but unbroken. This time, there would be no escape. Shiratori was sentenced to life in prison, but even behind bars, his spirit remained unbroken. He continued to challenge the system, demanding better conditions for his fellow inmates. He became a symbol of resistance, a thorn in the side of the authorities. He died in prison in 1979, at the age of 71. Section 11. The Legend of Yoshie Shiratori. Yoshie Shiratori's story is more than just a tale of daring escapes. It's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, the unwavering desire for freedom, even in the face of insurmountable odds. Shiratori became a legend in Japan, his story a cautionary tale for the authorities, a reminder that even the most secure prisons cannot hold a man determined to be free. He may have died in prison, but his legend lives on, a symbol of hope for the oppressed, a reminder that even in the darkest of places, the human spirit can triumph. Born in 1907, Yoshie Shiratori's life was marked by hardship and struggle from the very beginning. Growing up in early 20th century Japan, he faced numerous challenges that shaped his indomitable spirit. He worked various jobs, often in harsh conditions, which only fueled his desire for a better life. Wrongfully accused of a crime he didn't commit, Shiratori found himself behind bars. But instead of succumbing to despair, he began to plan his escape. His methods were ingenious, using everyday items to outsmart his captors. From picking locks with a wire to squeezing through tiny openings, his escapes were nothing short of miraculous. Each time he was recaptured, the authorities tightened security, but Shiratori always found a way out. His escapes turned him into a folk hero, a symbol of resistance against an unjust system. People whispered his name, sharing stories of his daring feats. Even when placed in solitary confinement, he never lost hope. He would gaze at the sky through the bars, dreaming of freedom. One of his most famous escapes occurred during a storm, using the chaos to his advantage. He ran through the forest, evading capture, driven by an unyielding will to be free. Hiding in the mountains, he survived on his wits and the kindness of strangers. Despite his own struggles, he often helped others, sharing his food and knowledge. Eventually he was captured for the last time, but his spirit remained unbroken. Today, Yoshie Shiratori is remembered not just as an escape artist, but as a symbol of hope and resilience. His legacy continues to inspire those who face their own battles, reminding them that with determination, anything is possible. His story has been immortalized in books and films, ensuring that the legend of Yoshie Shiratori will never be forgotten. His spirit lives on, a beacon of hope for all who seek freedom and justice.